What's up, guys? Mars here. We're doing a little bit of a different type of video today, guys. What we're doing is an NFL mock draft. Kind of interesting, I've been making a couple of Rust videos, and today we're gonna go mock draft season. It's mock draft season. Not really, but it kind of is. I mean, it kind of always is, going leading up to the draft. But this is my players. This is the guys that I think where they should go, what the needs should be. I don't know a ton about the colleges, about these college guys. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really, but I know what these teams need, and that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I think how this is going to go, um, when it comes to mock draft. So this is the latest. This is how the draft's gonna be looking. So the first pick for right now, if the season would end today, it would be the Giants who'd be getting the first round pick, and the Giants need a quarterback. The Giants really need a quarterback. Look on the board, the Raiders also need a quarterback, so you could be maybe one of those teams, trading up. The Browns maybe they pulled the trigger. Maybe the Raiders pull the trigger. You know, the Browns. I'm pretty sure the Browns are good. I'm pretty sure they don't have. I'm pretty sure they have all their picks this year, which it kind of screwed them over with that Deshaun Watson trade. But they could be pulling. But I'm not gonna be doing any trading. Not gonna be doing any trading. I know what they need. They need a quarterback. And everyone sitting at home, you're sitting at home watching this on your TV screen or you're holding your iPhone, you think, I'm going to go Shedeur Sanders here because he's the best quarterback available. There have been leads Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders. Been leads there, right? Maybe Shedeur doesn't want to play in New York, and New York's worried about that. Something stupid would happen. I'm going to be honest, guys. I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be better than Shedeur Sanders. I'm taking Cam Ward number one. Cam Ward number one overall in the draft. I love what I seen from him in college when I watched a couple of his games that he had. Love that. It's just a big need for the Giants. They've had a rough run with it with quarterbacks. Daniel Jones. That wasn't too great. So Cam Ward will be what I'm going to be taking for the Giants at the number one overall selection. At number two, the Patriots. Drake May has been playing excellent, so Shedeur Sanders, he's not gonna have to worry about this, I don't think. I got a couple friends, they're saying they want linemen. They're Patriots fans. They want linemen. They want linemen. I think Mayo's sitting in the office there, and he's saying, I don't think we need linemen. I think we need Travis Hunter. And it's a big need. Corner's a big need. Receiver's a big need for him. To be honest, I don't think Travis Hunter's going to be playing both sides of the football. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't think he's going to be playing both sides of the football. I think he's going to be playing one side of the ball. If that's receiver, if that's corner. They have him listed here at corner. I think he's better at receiver, if I'm going to be honest. But Travis Hunter's a versatile guy they can use. Just won the Heisman Trophy. I am going to take Travis Hunter with a number two selection in the draft. There was another, there's a lot of great. Will Campbell's amazing, excellent selection, excellent selection. Will Campbell's an awesome selection. Banks is an awesome selection there. So those two guys are the top guys. They're 8. They're ranked 8 right now. If we see something more in the combine, maybe I would change that. But I just think the Patriots are looking at this and saying there's not an all-star tackle on the board. There's not a number one guy like Joe Alt was that last year or 2 years ago. Joe Alt's been amazing. That guy was insane. I think that was either last year or 2 years ago. I think Joe Alt. I don't remember, but what I'm talking about there, and that's great. So at 2, they're gonna pull the trigger. They're gonna go after Travis Hunter. Now the Jags. The Jags. They need tackle help pretty badly. I would say they need it pretty badly. Will Johnson's here is a great option as well, but I think Will Campbell is what they're going to do there. They need tackle help. They need lineman help. He's going to fill that role. He's going to be excellent at filling that role, and awesome. It'll be great. He's just going to be awesome. He's just going to be great. Nothing really to say about that either. Here we go. Tennessee. Now, Tennessee, this can depend on what's going to happen in the offseason, gentlemen, because the Bengals T. Higgins has been linked to these guys. Great fit for him. If they go out and you grab T. Higgins, you don't need a receiver. And that's their second need. That's the second need they list here on this website here. So, what do? Tackle on the board, D-tackle on the board, what their needs are. Mason Graham's an awesome option. That's what I'm going to do. He was amazing against Ohio State. We know he's been amazing at Michigan. He's a great player, one of the better players in the class, if not the best player. I'm not going to say the best player in the class, but he's definitely up there, top 3, top 5 player in the class. And he definitely deserves to be in the top 5 conversation. So he'll be amazing for him, and that is that. And this is where the draft starts to get interesting. It really does start to get interesting here, because the Browns and the Raiders both need a quarterback. The Browns they've had terrible luck drafting quarterbacks, but I think the Browns are what they're going to say here. They're going to stick and pick. They're going to draft Shedeur Sanders, quarterback of the future for him. Hopefully it works out for him. He's got to cross your fingers and hope it works out for him. And Shedeur Sanders probably a little bit disappointed to get drafted by the Raiders in the next pick, but I think it's a great fit for him. Shedeur Sanders to the Browns. Hopefully he can do something there. We look at the Raiders. Now the Raiders, again, they're disappointed they miss out on their quarterback of the future. They'll have to take again next year probably for him. They have to wait another year for him. There's a great receiver right here on the board. That McMillan from Arizona. He's excellent. Great receiver. Awesome. He's been excellent all year for Arizona, and that's what I'm going to take here. He's a great receiver, best receiver on the board easily. No really question, no buts about, and no, there's no buts about it. He's just a great receiver. He's been amazing. That's what it is. He's great guy, great receiver. Panthers. It says quarterback's the number one option. Bryce Young's been playing okay. He's been playing good. They tried Rudy Brian Burns. Guess what I'm going to take here? I'm going to take an edge rusher. Adul Carter from Penn State. Amazing guy. Amazing. He's played really well at Penn State there. Panthers need edge help, and that's what he's going to be able to do. Is what he's going to be able to come in and help him with, just some edge help. Get on the edge, help him out. And, yeah. The Jets here at 8. Now, the Jets at 8, they need a lot of stuff, I think. I don't really need a ton of stuff. Quarterbacks listed as their number 1. Tight ends listed as their number 1. And it's just, and let me look at the tight ends. I mean, nothing really crazy here for tight ends. Wide receivers, definitely not really a need, in my opinion. So I think what you do is you take best player available, and that is Will Johnson. Here, a great corner from Michigan. He's been excellent. I think he got injured this year though, but he's been awesome. He's been great, and he will improve that team drastically. He'll be awesome for your team of Jets. Pair him up with Sauce Gardner, and that'll be a scary matchup. The Bears here at 9. Like the Panthers, they need edge help, and I'm gonna take the next best edge rusher available, Williams from Georgia. He's been amazing for Georgia as well. I mean, he's self-explanatory. He's been great, and he's an awesome guy to add to your team. Now, looking at the Saints, what do you think they need? They need an edge rusher too. And you look down the board here, and you say, okay, you got a couple good edge rushers here, but tackle is something else that needs to be addressed. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to take Kevin Banks Jr. here at 10. He's been awesome. He's been great. You know, some people saying he's the best tackle in the class. I think it is interchangeable who gets taken first, and You get him down here at 10. I think that's a steal. I think you're thinking in your mind that's a steal for you. That's a steal, to say the least, a steal. Looking down here at the Niners. The Niners need a tackle as well, but you're kind of disappointed. Tackle just got taken right there. Kind of, it's gonna be difficult for them to decide what they want to do. But I think what they do is they go down here and they take this tackle from Arizona. I don't really know anything about him. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about him. But they got him ranked as the next best tackle, so that's what I'm gonna do for him. I think they need tackle. Obviously, is what it said. That's what they needed. So, um, tackle is what I need. I don't really know. I've never seen this guy play at all, but he's got to be pretty good. They have him ranked pretty high up here, so I'm gonna trust the website. The Dolphins here at 12. Guard is their number one need. I agree with that 100%. And Tyler Booker will fill that up for you nicely. He'll be in there. He'll be a plug and play player right away for him. No brainer for him right there. I think that's a great selection for them. Colts here at 13, and a tight end is listed as the number one need. I agree with that 100%. And what way to pair him up with Tyler Warren from Penn State? I'm pretty sure this is the better one out of the two. They have him ranked. This guy ranked higher, but I think Tyler Warren's better. Tyler Warren, he's been great at Penn State. If I'm not mistaken, he's been great. Fill a need right there. Fill a need at tight end for the Colts. Big need for him. He's going to be amazing. He'll be able to come in there and play right away. Now the Bengals here at 14. I'm a Bengals fan, and I've seen a lot of and I've seen not a lot of rush, not a lot of pass rush. And if you get the 14th pick in the draft, I think you're pretty stoked about it, and I think you're going to take one of these edge rushers. But also, as I look, I see Ashton Jeanty there. Ashton Jeanty, Joe Burrow. There's more other options on the board. I think the pass rush has played bad this year. As a Bengals fan, I think the pass rush has played bad this year. I don't really think it's too much on needing players. I think Sam Hubbard just played really bad this year. I think he'll come back and play excellent. So I think what I'm going to do is you take a running back, Ashton Jeanty, to the Bengals. And everyone's been taking Ashton Jeanty to the Cowboys, but Ashton Jeanty to the Bengals. I think some of these guys for the Bengals, they just had a bad year this year. Sam Hubbard, I think he just had a bad year this year. If I'm being honest, if I want to keep it a stack, I'm going to be honest. I think he just had a bad year, and so I think you fill not a big need, pairing him up with Chase Brown. This offense is unstoppable. This backfield's unstoppable. And you can say, oh, why didn't you get a receiver? T. Higgins is leaving. Nobody knows that yet, guys. It's a crazy world right there. It's crazy what could happen. Ja'Marr Chase, I don't see him taking a pay cut. A guy I do see taking a pay cut is Joe Burrow. Ja'Marr Chase, he's got too big of a head. I don't see him taking a pay cut. Joe Burrow, I see him taking a pay cut. I can see him taking a pay cut. I think Trey Hendrickson might need a payday as well. So this might become a problem real quick. But you never know what could happen. T. Higgins could take a little bit of a pay cut. Ja'Marr Chase could take a little bit of a pay cut. Joe Burrow could take a little bit of a paycheck to take that out of his contract. This team could be scary next season, really scary. And if the offseason goes as planned for the Bengals, Jeanty can make this team great. This offense perfect. Now you can say, oh, the lineman. Doesn't matter. Chase Brown, great guy out of the backfield receiving. Jeanty could be a guy you just pounds the ball straight forward. Ashton Jeanty is going to be a stud. There's no notes about it. You can't just go to college and just crap the bed as a running back like that quick. You can't put up those stats and just crap the bed. He's going to be pretty good. He's going to be decent at least, and I think that's a great pick for the Bengals. Say what you want about it. I think it's a great pick. Luther Burden, that's what I'll take at 15 to the Cowboys. He's been excellent for Missouri. There's nothing more to say about that. He's been excellent for Missouri, and he's been great. And can't really, there's really nothing else you can say about that. At 23, at 16, the Cardinals. That interior on the defensive line, I agree with what they mean here. That interior, honestly, on both sides, offense and defense, I agree perfectly what the Cardinals need. And Cameron Williams, oh, not Cameron Williams, Tariq Williams from Ohio State. He's been amazing for the Buckeyes. I'm an Ohio State fan as well. When watching him, he's been excellent for the Bucks, and he's been playing very well. So I like that. So I'd like that selection if I was a Cardinals fan. Buff up that interior of that defensive line. The Bucks here at 17 is kind of a challenging one, honestly, to go about this. And edge rusher, you see these edge rushers up here, and then they've fallen all the way down here in the board. I think it's hard to pass up on these guys. And I'm going to take the projected number one player in the class at the start of this season, James Pierce Jr. He's been good for Tennessee, but he hasn't lived up to his expectations, and that's what you have to do to be the number one pick in the draft. He could be really solid. He could be really, really, really solid for the Bucks, and we're going to see what happens, but I think he can easily be really, really good for the Bucks if they find a way to get him involved, and I think he's the better one out of these two. Seahawks, safety is a need. Safety is a little bit of a need. I don't want to say it's a ton of a need, but it's a little bit of a need. And when you have a guy fall this far, it's hard not to take him. Malik Sparks from Georgia. He's been great for Georgia. Excellent. I watched a couple of videos on this guy. This guy's balling out right now for Georgia. So I like that selection. I definitely like that selection. If I was a Seahawks fan, buff up the back end of the ball in the defense, the back end of that defense, and help your team out a little bit more on that side of the ball, on that aspect of the ball. The Falcons. The corners for the Falcons have been rough this season, but you have Jesse Bates. He was a former Bengal, and Bates, excellent player. Excellent player. One of the best Bengals that I've ever watched. He was great. One of the best safeties I've ever watched for the Bengals. So I think you have Jesse Bates back there, and you're going to say, okay, you paid him $20 million a year to do something, so, I mean, he's going to be helping you out a little bit. I think receiver help. You already have a great receiver in Drake London, right? You don't really have another guy. You got Mooney there. He's all right. He's a good receiver 3, not a good receiver 2. And what I think you can do is take an Isaiah Bond from Texas, and he can fill in that role. Excellent for Texas. He's been amazing for Texas this season. Great guy, great player. You can't go wrong with a wide receiver to help out Michael Penix Jr., who had a decent start last week. You know, his first start, so you can't really say too much about that. But I think it was a great decision by the Falcons as well to get Kirk Cousins out of there, get him out of there, and get another guy in there now. As a Falcons fan, I'd be a little frustrated. You know, you're paying this guy all this money, and he's not doing much for you. But this is what it is. You just gotta bite the bullet and hope Penix can be good for you. The Chargers. The Chargers. I don't really agree with the website here, if I'm going to be honest. I don't really agree with it. The receiving core for the Chargers has not been that good. Ladd McConkey's been good. Quinn Johnson's been okay. I think you just plug in Emeka Egbuka for the Chargers. You get Justin Herbert, another weapon, and you stack your guys. You have 3 solid options to use. Put another receiver in that receiving room, and yeah, I think that's what I would do. Honestly, if I was a part of this, or if I was a part of that, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. The Texans here at 21. Unfortunate, Tank Dell going down. His career might be done. That's unfortunate for him, for Tank Dell. But looking at the draft here, I think, defense is definitely needed for the Texans, and Jalon Walker has been solid for Georgia, really solid for Georgia, and that's what I'm going to take. Because he's been really good. And I think you get really good value down the board here. I think you get really good value here at 21 taking him. If I'm being honest, he's good value. He's good value, and that's what you got to go for. For that simple. And again, I mean and then okay, moving on to the Broncos. This is a no-brainer. Fell down to you so far. He just fell down right into your lap. You know, corner. It says there needed was corner there. I kind of disagree with that. If I'm going to be honest, you don't really need. I don't think you really need corner that bad. You have Patrick Surtain there to ball out for you. He's been excellent for the Broncos. Very, very, very good for the Broncos. One of the probably the best cornerback in the NFL. So that's what you got to deal with there. Here at 23, the Rams, and I think their biggest need right now, in my opinion, would be tackle. And right there's a tackle right top of the board, Cameron Williams. So perfect. I think it's a perfect fit for him. They've been excellent. They think they struggled up front a little bit, especially in the tackle area. So on the offensive line. So I think that's what I would do, I guess, if I was the Rams. The Commanders here at 24. You have Jaden Daniels. He's been great. You got Terry McLaurin. He's been great. Those two guys, no one was thinking those guys were going to be good this season. I remember fantasy people saying, "Don't take Terry McLaurin. Don't take Terry McLaurin. Don't take Terry McLaurin." He's been amazing this season, Terry McLaurin. So I don't think receiver. I don't agree with the receiver. The cornerback. I mean, they've had unfortunate luck with some cornerbacks. I think Emmanuel Forbes. I think they drafted him 2 years ago, maybe 1-2 years ago, and did not really. I don't think he's shaped out very well for the Commanders. So I think what you need is a corner. I agree 100%. I haven't seen either of these guys. I guess I even have to lock in a little bit more, but that's what they're saying. So 25. I'm just gonna take a cornerback. I don't really know what his name is, but I think either way, if you go with a cornerback there, it'd be a good selection for him. The Steelers here at 25. The Steelers have been an interesting team this season. They've been really good. They're always really good no matter what team they bring out there, it seems like. And I think the Steelers, I think he's just best player available, to be honest. And this D tackle from Oregon, Derek Harmon's looking snazzy to me. Looks like they need. So that's what I would go with. I'd go with the tackle, interior defensive line. Would be amazing. You make that defensive line dangerous with T.J. Watt. Make it dangerous and make teams respect that defensive line. You get somebody else in there that teams respect, and that can't really do anything about that. Cameron Hayward, I think he's still on the team. I think Cameron Hayward's still on the team. They respect him, but he's not gonna be there forever. So gotta get somebody else in there. So add a Derek to that. Add a Derek Harmon that up front there, and I think that'd be a great selection for him. The Ravens here at 26. Now this is interesting what I'm gonna do here for them, because I don't really know what to do, to be honest with you. And I think what I'm gonna do is take Trey Harris from Ole Miss. I watched a little bit of him. He was really good. I did see him. He was really good. I think there's another receiver for Lamar Jackson to throw to. I feel like they just haven't got that wide receiver too. They tried to trade for Deontay Johnson. He was terrible for them, and so yeah, Deontay Johnson was terrible. They waived him. He was that bad, so they tried to trade for him. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it, and couldn't find anything for that. It says D tackle. I think interior defensive line for the Packers is what they need. I think something on the defensive line would be good for them to use. That's what I think that they need. Be D tackle. Eagles. Eagles never really need much, I think defensive line. I agree with that. So Shamir Stewart from Texas A&M. I have seen him play a little bit, and he was pretty good when I watched him. Just to buff up that defensive line a little bit more. That interior defensive line for the Eagles, as everyone knows, is crazy good. Is really good. They don't really need to make any improvements to that. I think just making some improvements to the edge is what would be good for them. Bills here at 29. I think this is cornerbacks are top need. I agree with that 100%. Jermaine Morris from Notre Dame. I've seen him a little bit actually, and he was pretty good honestly. I think he was pretty solid when I watched him. You know, he's gonna be a guy to lock up some of these top, maybe your top receivers to get him develop. If you get him developed enough, he was pretty good for Notre Dame. Here at 30, we have the Vikings, and the Vikings do need defense. Defensive help, I think, is something they do need. They do need. But hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Now, I don't like them. I don't like this guy, but I have to do it. I think I want to do it. Actually, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm actually not gonna pull the trigger. I'm not gonna do it. I think the safety up here, South Carolina, has been on the board for a while. Great selection. I think a safety would be an awesome fit for him. South Carolina, I really haven't seen. You know, some of these like schools, not the Big Ten. I mean, I'm a Ohio State fan, so I won't see a lot of guys in the Big Ten. But anything out of that, I really don't see. So I don't really know what that guy would be, if he's good or not. To be honest, I don't really know how good this guy is. But safety for the Vikings does make sense to me. I think that's the best option for them. Safety. Here we go. Okay. Now you're gonna say to me here, at the Lions at 31. Hear me out. Jared Goff has been amazing, amazing for the Lions. But Jared Goff isn't going to be here forever. Your Lord and Savior, not your Lord and Savior. Sorry, excuse me. Your Savior isn't going to be here forever. Your Savior's not going to be here forever. Someone to save your team, your quarterback of the future isn't going to be here forever. Jared Goff is not your quarterback for the future. I don't care what you say, he's not. The quarterbacks here are decent. Jalen Milroe, no. I do not like Jalen Milroe. I'm going to be honest, I do not like him. Quinn Ewers, though. He went to Ohio State. I like Quinn Ewers. I'm taking Quinn Ewers. Hate me if you want. I don't care. I like Quinn Ewers. I like him there. And that's definitely something. I think it's a great pick for him. Quinn Ewers to the Lions. And, you know, you can hate me for it all you want, but I that's what I think would be his best fit. Best fit would be right there, and you know he can learn from Jared Goff, learn from him, make mistakes under Jared Goff, and 1 or 2 years and Jared Goff's out here, you got a guy that's ready to go, ready to ball out for you, and I think it's a great option for him. Kansas City, another just like the Lions, you got like Jared Goff. Travis Kelce isn't getting any younger, that's for sure. And when you have a tight end that this good, he's filled this far, pair him up with Travis Kelce for a year or two, that's scary. And that's scary. And here we go. So this is my full results here, gentlemen. Colson Loveland, I think he could learn a lot from Travis Kelce, play under Travis Kelce, and him on that offense for Kansas City would be scary. So this is my full mock draft 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun making it. I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace out.